Hi there, I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to another episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Each episode, we will be putting two heroes into the spotlight and see who reigns supreme over the other. First, they will be judged by all of their attributes, which includes their stats, weapons, skill, etc. Then, we will put them into a battle simulator and see who's the better one when head on. Not only that, we will be also giving them their best possible skill build and put them into the ultimate mass battle showdown to see who will be crowned the winner of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Let's not wait any longer and introduce our contestants. A loyal member of the Deliverance, a strict, calm, and considerate noble, the sharp soldier, Lukas! The next in line to the throne of Shiro, the son of the Lobster King, the chicken-loving Shiro! And here we go, Lance vs Naginata, Soldier vs Prince. Who will be crowned the winner of this week's My Husbando is better than yours? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Round 1, Stats and Skills. Let's start with their base stats total. Lukas has a BST of 157 and Shiro's BST is 163. The first point goes to Shiro. What about their rating after weapon and skills? Lukas' total rating is 170 and Shiro is 179. 0-2 to Shiro. Next is their hit points. Lukas has 45 HP and Shiro has 41. Lukas scored his first point, 1-2. Let's look at their attack now. Lukas' attack is 35 plus 11 and Shiro is 35 plus 16. Shiro scores again, 1-3. What about their speed? Who is the faster unit? Lukas has a speed of 22 and Shiro has 30. 1-4 to Shiro. Next, let's look at the defense. Lukas has 38 points in defense and Shiro has 35. Lukas scores one back. The score is now 2-4. Last, their resistance to magical damage. Lukas has a resistance of 17 and Shiro has 22. Another point to Shiro. After looking at their stats, Shiro has 3 points ahead of the sharp soldier. Lukas would need a miracle to overcome the odds, but the possibility is not zero. Next, shall we look at their weapon? Lukas wields the Killer Lance Plus that accelerates trigger count with a might of 11. It might not look that impressive, but it holds great potential as it could be upgraded and refined to Slaying Lance Plus with stats boost. As for Shiro, he wields the Bright Naginata that has a might of 16. It also grants him a +4 attack and defense during combat whenever he's defending. Whose weapon is better? If we are comparing their weapon's final form, I would have given it a draw. Considering Killer Lance requires more effort and grinding to reach the ranks of Naginata, I guess it's fair to say Shiro gets the point. 2-6. There's a few areas that we won't be comparing, such as assist, special, passive, B, and C, since one of them doesn't have it. However, we will still briefly go through it. Lukas has Sacred Cow as his special. It reduces damage inflicted by foe 2 spaces away by 30% with a cooldown cost of 2, which in his case the cooldown will become 1 because of his weapon. And Shiro, he has Swap as an assist. It allows him to swap spaces with an adjacent ally. As for passive, Lukas has Obstruct at passive B, a skill that prevents foe from moving through adjacent spaces of him as long as his HP is 50% or more. In passive C, Shiro has Defend Tactic that grants allies within 2 spaces a +6 defense if there were not more than 2 of the same movement type. And what's left is passive A. Lukas has Fortress Defense that grants him a +5 defense by decreasing his attack by 3. As for Shiro, he has Steady Stance. It grants him a +6 defense during combat when being attacked. So whose A skill is better? Steady Stance for sure. The last point goes to Shiro. And that concludes the fight of round 1. With a score of 2 against 7, the winner of round 1 is Shiro! To my surprise, the gap between them is kinda huge, right? Anyway, shall we move on to round 2, head-on fight. For this segment, I'm going to use the FEH damage calculator by Krandu. First, we're just going to let them brawl with their default skills, IV with no buff. Let's have a look at the result. It seems none of them gets to take down their opponent in one round of combat. Even after 2 rounds, both of them will be still standing. However, Lukas is at the losing side with his low speed, which caused him to get doubled every time. Since we are only looking at 1 round of combat, it's a draw. How about we give them their recommended skill builds? For Lukas, Slaying Lance Plus, Steady Breath, Quick Repose, Panic Ploy, Bonfire, Close Defense Seal. For Shiro, Bright Naginata, Steady Breath, Quick Repose, Defend Tactic, Ignis, and Close Defense Seal. And the result? Both of them got KO while initiating. Even though they both have insanely high defense, which usually means receiving little to no damage, but by triggering their special with that much of defense would certainly result in a KO. With no clear winner, I would have to declare the result of round 2 to be a tie. Before we proceed to the final round, let's recap back the results. Shiro has 1 win in hand compared to Lukas with none. Lukas would need to win the last round to avoid a defeat. Would he be able to do it? Let's find out in round 3, Mass Battle. For this round, we will be using the Mass Battle calculator by Krandu to calculate how effective are they against all the other heroes. Instead of looking at only their kills, we are going to consider their draws and losses too, and the result will be in the form of percentage. Here's the formula. First, we will calculate the result with their default build. And Lukas draws 118, loses 51, and wins 30. What about Shiro? He draws 71, loses 32, and wins 96. Let's convert it to percentage to see their winning rate. Shiro has the higher winning rate with 66.1% compared to Lukas with only 44.7%. This result is mainly due to Shiro's higher speed and weapons ability. What if enemy attack first? Would the result be any different? This time, Lukas draws 116, loses 50, and wins 33. On the other hand, Shiro draws 72, loses 27, and wins 100. After conversion, Shiro still has the higher winning percentage. Therefore, the default fight goes to Shiro. Now, let's move on to their best build. Let's look at the result. Lukas draws 56, loses 37, and wins 106. As for Shiro, he draws 41, loses 25, and wins 133. Let's change it to percentage. Shiro's winning rate is roughly 10% higher than Lukas when initiating. What if they defend first? And here's the result. Lukas draws 8, loses 28, and wins 163. As for Shiro, he draws 35, loses 14, and wins 150. Lukas has the higher kill count, but what about if we convert to percentage? Unfortunately, Shiro still has the better rate at 84.2 compared to Lukas with 83.9. So close. And with that, the last round goes to Shiro too. Hence, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this episode, My Waifu or Husbando, is better than yours is Shiro! What an eye-opener! I was expecting Lukas to be able to beat Shiro in the last round. However, the lack of speed from Lukas resulted to his defeat. But do bear in mind that Lukas could be summoned from a 4-star pool, whereas Shiro is only available in 5-star. In other words, it's a lot cheaper and easier to wield a Lukas compared to Shiro, unless you have an infinite master card lying around. So, what's your thought on the result? Who do you think should have been the better Husbando? Let's discuss. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content like this. You could also leave a comment below to suggest who would you like to feature in a future episode. Happy holidays, and I hope to see you in 2018.